scam story.
I'm going to say how to scam a tech founder in 2024. Yeah. I think that's funny. Yeah. Okay. How to scam a tech founder in 2024. No, I'm not a scam artist, but I almost fell victim to a group of scammers. I want to share with you the warning signs and the game that almost got me caught in losing over 250,000 USDT. First thing that happened was they reached out to me via my email that was connected to my Instagram account, talking about being interested in investing in my app, Maxion. I'm not going to go into too much detail about how everything happened. Instead, I'm just going to highlight the game so that you understand what to look for and how to save yourself from wasted time, energy, money, or a dangerous situation. So the game is that they said that they were advisors to a wealthy investor. Now, first, the investor was the girlfriend of a 6-year-old guy living in Switzerland. And then the investor turned into a Qatari client. And then the investor at the end was a German doctor. So those are red flags right there. On top of that, they were willing, or at least the scam was, that they were willing to invest 1.75 million euros. This is without me even speaking to the investor. They said that they had full control over the investor's actions and money that he would be putting into the investment. Next thing was they kept like peddling us through like 4 different contacts. Like we had to talk to this person, talk to that person. Now they introduced the idea of getting a commission separate and secretly from the investor. Now, for me, that wasn't so much of a red flag because I do understand finder's fees, success fees, things like that. But one of the red flags was that they asked for it in crypto. Now, asking for it in crypto, totally fine. And we had already spoken to a regulated crypto exchange, not only here in the UAE, but also in Hong Kong, to be able to send the USDT. So everything checked out in the beginning. Next step was we had to fly to Barcelona to meet 2 of the other guys that were supposedly close advisors to the investor. And from my perspective, it was almost like they wanted us to show that we had skin in the game to kind of prove to them that we would give them the commission that they were asking for. This was also at the time when it was the biggest storm in Dubai, and it took my CFO and I 3 days to get to Barcelona. It almost was like God, angels, universe were like, do not go. But we got there and I put over like 27,000 US dollars in airplane tickets because we kept having to switch. Thank goodness I was able to recover a lot of that. But all in all, the trip was about 12,000 US dollars. Everything was cool when we got there. The guys met us in our hotel. They seemed normal. They were asking us normal questions about the investment and everything kind of like made sense. They even invited us for dinner that evening. We all were talking. They tried to bring up something about the crypto commission, but because we are having champagne, it was like, listen, let's talk about this like another time. Anyway, my CFO and I stayed in Barcelona for a couple more days and we ended up flying back to Dubai. What ends up happening is they did some negotiations about the actual investment. And then all of a sudden the investment turned from 1.7 million US dollars into 1.75 million euros, which is basically 1.87 million US, but they still wanted the same commission. And I thought that that was so odd. And now they finally revealed who the investor was, and it was a German doctor. So remember that they switched up the investor 3 different times, but they shared a passport with us and an address. And we were like, okay, that's interesting. But then this is where it gets tricky. Remember that they wanted the commission in crypto. Now they were forcing it because the deal was basically almost done, signed, delivered. They said the next step would be that we would have to meet in Brussels or Amsterdam. What ended up happening was they then switched the commission and said that it would be 250,000 USDT that we need to first show them proof of funds. And we were like, what? The investment was meant to be 1.75 million US, and they wanted 250,000 US dollars in USDT. Even though they kept saying, no, you won't have to transfer it to us until you actually get the investment. And we were like, okay, great, but we're a startup. We don't have 250,000 to show you. Not only that, they were then insisting that we put it on a cold ledger or literally on a USB stick and bring that with us to Brussels or Amsterdam to show them proof of funds before we actually got the funding. This is where myself, my CFO, and one of my business partners actually started playing a little FBI, and we started digging. What we ended up finding was that these website domains were created in January 2024, end of March 2024. These people were not real people. We could not find them anywhere. We actually Googled the names that they had given us, and it was different faces to who we actually met in Barcelona. Not only that, we then dug in more about this German doctor who is the investor. And we found out that they had actually forged a digital passport for this person. We're able to get in contact with the actual companies that they were pretending to be. And it turns out that these companies had already been contacted and were flagged about this criminal activity. So they had actually already started an investigation on them. Not only that, we were able to use scamadvisor.com to see so many other stories that were very similar to ours, with the high crypto commission, saying yes to an investment even before having a lot of details about financials, anything like that. So then my CFO put together a lovely little message that I'd love to share with you. So she writes, "Hello, dear scammers. Would love to address you by your actual names. However, we aren't certain what your real names actually are. Christiana and I were very flattered that you guys kept saying we are smart ladies. I guess you underestimated just how smart we are. When we met the two of you, I actually thought you were kind of cool. What a shame that it was all a clown show. Anyway, let me cut to the chase. We have done our due diligence and found out that both your so-called companies are an absolute fake. We got in touch with the real who is the representative of the real best company. Apparently, there's some investigation already underway on you guys. Congratulations! We ran the passport of your investor, and obviously it's a fake. We know that both your websites have been recently created. To be more specific, was created on April 27, 2024. Created on January 6, 2024. It's a good thing we have pictures of the two of you that we met in Spain. I hope it will become very useful for the team at with you. We also got in touch with a few other people you guys tried to scam. We're teaming up. You guys were playing checkers. We're playing chess. Your biggest fail was bringing God into the conversation. I hope you get everything you deserve from him. Cheers." So the main takeaways from this story that you should be following is that if anybody reaches out to you cold, what you need to be doing is investigating their domain name, seeing how long these companies have actually been registered, certified in the country. You also should be getting on video calls with people. If you're putting forth any draft copies or sending anything like NDAs, you see real passwords, not just like passport information that's sent via email. Another thing, asking for a commission or a success fee isn't so much of like a red flag, but when the amount is so extraordinary, especially compared to the investment, that should be a major, major red flag to you. Also, transferring in crypto and then the insistence of having to buy crypto or show proof of funds before you receive any funding is absolutely crazy. And then on top of that, when people start getting emotional in a business transaction and start yelling at you and trying to force you to do things, you should not be doing that. And save yourself. This is what I fell for. Do not travel without all of this information beforehand or speaking to the investor yourself. Listen, all in all, we weren't hurt. We didn't get too much damage to ourselves. And the way I'm going to like just see the glass half full is that it was a vacation in Barcelona that I took with not only my CFO, but one of my best friends. Hope this helps. And in all honesty, I do believe that things happen for a reason. You meet people in life to help get you to the next level. And what I hope to do with this story is not only expose the game that these scammers were playing, but I'm hoping that they get caught, that they're prosecuted, that they never hurt anybody else, and that the exposure of the story actually brings true, honest investment to Maxion, because we are creating and elevating connections across the GCC.